What's going on, everybody? We're here with another episode, second episode on YouTube. I'm here with Caitlin and Haley, and both of them are part of the equestrian program here, and they're both part of two different teams, right? Caitlin, you're part of the IHSA riding team.
Yes.
And Haley, you're part of the ranch horse team, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I'll let them just kind of talk about what they got going on campus, but first of all, how are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. Can't complain. Good.
That's good, great. I mean, it's a little raining outside. But I guess, yeah, we'll just, before we get into what you guys do with your team, why horses? It's a broad question, but, everybody wonders. Like, how'd you pick it up,
So, ever since I was little, my mom actually brought me into the sport of riding. I took a little bit of a break when I was really little, but I got back into it through her, because of her, and just kind of stuck with it.
I'm kind of in the same boat. My family's always been involved with horses, and so it really only made sense to come to Findlay because it's an unmatched program and all that they do in the horse industry.
Right. So I know Findlay has like a great equestrian program. Obviously, we have two different barns. Which barn do you guys go to?
We're both at the Western
The Western barn?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I know there's a Western, the English. I didn't want to step on your hooves. Get it? Because horse hooves. I didn't want to step on your toes or anything if I said the wrong barn. But cool, yeah. So what's the difference between English and Western to let people know who might not know the difference?
Well, the English discipline is more, for starters, there are two different saddles. The horses move a little bit differently. You also have the jumping in that area. It's just basically a different style of riding.
Gotcha. All right. So, I mean, that's good. So, yeah, you guys have been here. This is your third year for both of you, right? So you guys you brought your own horses here, right, from home, or do you guys use your own or different horses that are supplied by the university?
So I personally do bring my horse here, but if you aren't fortunate enough to be able to or don't have your own horse, you are able to use the program's horses, and they're very generous with that.
Gotcha. All right. And so, Haley, you're from?
Long Island, New York.
Island. And Caitlin, you're from?
I'm from Michigan.
Michigan. Okay, so both out of state. Did you guys visit Findlay in their equestrian program before you even came here, or no?
I did visit briefly. It was a very quick walkthrough.
Did you, Caitlin?
I did as well.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So I'm assuming it made a good impression since you guys are still here. But that's good. So Haley, you're the president, if I'm right, for the ranch horse team.
Yes.
Caitlin, you?
We don't actually have a board per se for our team, but I'm actually the point keeper and announcer for the team. So it's a similar position as being the president.
Gotcha. So what are your responsibilities as a point keeper and everything for your club?
Basically, my responsibility is to get all the paperwork around for the judges, the different coaches of the teams when they come. So get that all in line, and then I'm also responsible for the horse draw, which is an element of IHSA. So we draw horses, and so that's something that I have to make sure that we have enough horses in the class, and then I also keep track of the points that each of our people on the team acquire throughout the season.
Gotcha. Okay, so obviously 4 years. That's great. You guys have your own competitions that come in, right?
Yes.
So do you guys compete in your own competitions too, or do you guys just kind of monitor over them?
So the ranch horse team is a little bit different from the IHSA team in that we aren't part of not a club, but we host our own shows out of how would you describe it? Not like an association.
Okay.
So outside competitors can come into our shows. We also go to One Away show every spring semester. Last year we were in Gordyville, Illinois. So we have a horse per rider on the team, whereas in the IHSA, they rotate school horses. They never know what they're going to be riding that day. The ranch horse team is kind of a set, you know what to expect, with what horse you're going to have.
Gotcha. And is that kind of, you said it was a little bit different?
It is a little bit different,
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so the IHSA pretty much, the saying of IHSA is that it's the ultimate catch ride. So you show up to this show and your coaches go in the meeting and they draw your horses. So you show up, you don't know what you're going to ride, but you come in, you know your pattern, and then you get to execute that pattern on whatever horse you draw.
Gotcha. So you don't even know, it's random every time you go in?
It's random, every time.
Because is that I know. Do you guys have your own set of horses you'll ride like during the day? So does that kind of mess up with like during competitions and whatnot? Do you have to kind of like adapt on the spot?
Well, Findlay riders definitely have a home advantage because we have one of the biggest horse herds in our region, so we do host a lot of the shows here at home.
Okay.
So Findlay riders get to ride these horses at school and get to know these horses. We do travel and ride other horses, other schools' horses, but we do kind of get a big advantage in our region for that.
Gotcha. So what kind of other schools can you name any other schools that like come and compete here?
So Blackhawk is one, that's where we had our semifinals. So they don't actually come here, but that's where we travel to. We have schools like, we compete with Albion sometimes, like at semifinals. They're in Michigan. There's a Bowling Green team, so they're not too far away. And then there's a few other smaller schools that also come as well.
Gotcha. So a few episodes, for the past 2 episodes actually, I always asked my guys, they were both athletes, the guys that were in here, and I asked them, just give me a run through before like a game day for them. Obviously you guys don't have game days, you have show days, is that right? So when you guys compete, do you guys have like a pre-ritual for your game day, or not game day, show day, or something that you guys have to do or whatnot?
Yeah, we do. For the ranch horse team, usually we set up temporary stalls for our outside guests if we don't have enough home stalls. We have to prep the arena, and because we use cattle in our events, we have to line the arena with extra panels so the cows can't jump out. We also have to run through and pull up all our outside exhibitor entries and make draw sheets for that. But I guess that's pretty much like our show day prep.
Gotcha.
It's pretty similar for the IHSA team. Like, we have to set up our arena and set up the extra fencing. Not quite as extensive as the ranch horse team, but warm up all the horses and make sure that they're going to be good citizens for the next day.
Gotcha. So obviously you guys prepare for shows that are held here, but you guys mentioned that you travel to other places too. So how does that look like, getting everything ready and not shipping it out, but like getting on the road to go? Because obviously there's a lot of stuff you have to bring. Do you bring your own horses with you too, or no?
The ranch horse team does haul our horses. We will take university horses, or if students have their own personal horse. So we do have to load up with feed and tack and make sure that we have enough supplies to get us through the weekend show. And if you want to talk a little bit about IHSA.
Yeah, IHSA, we don't take our own horses unless it's like a bigger show like semifinals or nationals when we're attributing to the horse herd there. But normally for us, we just have to load up our show clothes and get on a bus, and we head to wherever that show is.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit easier for you guys to get there, whereas you guys had to like do you have like a day of preparing everything before you go?
Yeah, usually we'll spend the day prepping the trailer, hooking the truck up, loading all of like the feed and hay and tack, and making sure all the horses have enough hay nets, and making sure they're all be good to load.
Gotcha. Well, obviously, I mean, that's a big part of getting everything there, make sure everything's great. But Caitlin, you mentioned that you have semifinals and nationals, stuff like that. So how does one get there before semifinals and nationals happen? What do you have to do? Like is there like a regular season that you guys have? So
Yes.
can you kind of walk us through like what a regular season looks like and what you need to do to go on to the next next part?
So we have each year it kind of varies how many shows we have in the fall and the spring, but usually it's like 3 to 4 shows in the fall and then a few shows in the spring, and then we have regionals. So your goal showing throughout the regular season is to acquire 36 points, and that gets you qualified for regionals. And then from there, the top 2 riders from regionals go to semifinals, and again, top 2 riders from semifinals go to nationals. I'm sorry, top 4 riders from semifinals go to nationals.
Gotcha. And Haley, do you guys have like for the ranch horse team, do you have like a nationals or semifinals or anything like that?
So for the ranch horse team, because we are more of an independent team, we have what's called a buckle series. So through our 3 home shows, 1 in the fall, 2 in the spring, similar to IHSA, you acquire points for your placings, and the rewards for the end of the year are a buckle for first. Last year we had reserve gift cards, and the divisions are broken down between non-UF riders, 19 and over, 18 and under, and the open level.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So you guys mentioned, you're both part of the teams. Do you guys do any individual riding yourselves, like outside of your clubs or anything, just for fun at all, or?
Yeah, I travel to a lot of shows up and down the East Coast through an organization called RSTPA. It's a ranch sorting and team penning association. that is cattle events, and that's part of the reason why I do have my horse here also.
Gotcha. Kaylin, do you or no?
I personally don't do a lot of traveling on my own while I'm here. I definitely take advantage of being able to be on the IHSA team because I don't have my personal horse here. So
Right.
it allows me to keep riding in class and just get all the riding time in that I'm excited to have.
Gotcha. So obviously, I mean, that's great. I mean, Haley, you compete at your own, and I mean, that's good that you can take advantage of what the university provides. I hear a lot from like a lot of the students, that we have a great equestrian program. Personally, I can't really speak of experience since I don't ride horses. But no, yeah, that's great. So, I mean, you guys have been here for 3 years now. Do you guys have like a favorite moment that you've had at the barns or on your club teams at all? Like, if someone asked you right now, like, what is your favorite moment these past 3 years? Does something pop up in your head right away or no?
I would have to say probably the first ride on my colt first semester sophomore year. It's something that through the program you just get really excited for, and it's, I feel like, a big step into furthering like your learning process here. So it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I couldn't name a specific moment, but just the camaraderie of the barns and the different teams, like it's all memory making with each other and the friendships that you make.
Right, yeah. So I know a lot of the guys like on sports teams, like they have their teammates and everything they can hang out with, but obviously you guys have your friends or other people that you compete with at the barns that you can hang out with. I mean, that's great too. I mean, to come in and have like a group of people that you already know or have similar interests with is always something good to have when you come in. So is there like anything you want to tell people, like, a lot, you hear a question and you just think, horses, barns, stuff like that. Is there something you want people to know more about besides just horses?
Like about the program?
Yeah, about
like
the program, your club team, whatever you want to say.
I do have to say, if you're listening and you're not enrolled in college yet and Findlay's on your radar, definitely visit, see what we have to offer. The school here is great. It's like a very close-knit community. Even people that aren't necessarily equestrian majors that are pre-vet are also at the Western Farm, which is really nice because you get to meet people that have similar but yet different interests. And I feel like even on campus, it's just like a very nice family vibe.
Yes, Haley kind of mentioned this too, but it's also important for people to know that both teams are open to students that aren't enrolled in the equestrian program. So
really?
Even if you aren't part of a specific barn, there are teams at the English Farm too, but at the Western Farm, if you aren't enrolled in the program and you're just a student on campus, you're a biology major that enjoys showing or enjoys doing ranch type events, you can still be on both teams, or one of the teams. But that's open for everyone.
I actually didn't know about that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So like if someone was just like biology or like maybe an art major and they just like really enjoy horses, they could come out, not necessarily ride the horses, but like learn more about it and whatnot.
Well, they certainly could show on the teams too. Yeah.
We actually, the ranch horse team just had their tryouts last Wednesday and Thursday, and we had, I want to say, almost 20 non-equestrian students try out.
Really?
And we're hoping to get the results soon. I know IHSA has their tryouts this upcoming week, so it should be exciting to see what the rosters will look like this year.
Gotcha. So you just mentioned you guys had tryouts. Can you really at least kind of like run us through, without giving away too much information, what a tryout is like what people have to do to try out to be on the team?
Yeah, so we had our interest meeting on Tuesday. It is required that you do come to that to get a little look into what the team requires.
Mm-hmm.
So you come to our meeting, and then a spreadsheet is sent out, and you sign up for a time slot. Everybody gets a 5-minute time slot to run their pattern. So there's a set pattern that everybody is sent out with, and they learn it the night before. They come usually 15 minutes prior to their tryout time, and they get on the horse that they'll be using for the tryout. We use a rotation of school horses for that. They get about 5 minutes to ride around their horse, feel them out, see what they're working with, and then they go in and do their pattern. And at the end of the tryouts, the coaches, actually Arthur O'Brien and Jerry Coleman, coach the ranch horse team. They reach a decision, and then the results are posted.
Gotcha. And then can you run us through what a IHSA tryout looks like, again, without giving away too much information?
Yeah. So our tryouts are actually tomorrow and Wednesday, so they're coming up really soon here. But it's similar to the ranch horse team in that before horses are assigned for them, it's kind of a catch ride too. So we run it a little bit different, that students show up and they do draw a random horse. So you draw a random horse and you will get on. You do have divisions as well. I didn't mention that earlier, but
Okay.
from beginner to the open. So you'll compete against and try out against like division riders. So you're not competing against someone that's way more experienced or lesser than you. So
Right.
in your divisions, you'll try out on one horse, you'll on the rail, one direction, and then you'll just randomly switch horses within the group that you're trying out with, and then you'll do a pattern, and that's it.
Nice. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, that's great. I mean, best of luck for the rest of the year, or seasons, or however it goes. Sorry, I don't really know. So do you guys do like one fall season or one winter season, or can you only do it when it's like nicer weather outside?
We actually show all year round. Which
Oh,
is
okay.
Very nice, and we're fortunate enough to have a really nice facility with actually not one but 2 indoor arenas.
Oh, okay.
Heated, which is really nice
Heated.
in the
That's
winter.
important. It's important in the winter.
Yeah. So it's pretty much all year round. Like I mentioned before, we hold one home show in the fall just to kind of give everybody a grace period
Mhm.
before the 2 spring shows. And then we usually do one away show also in the spring.
Gotcha. And then is it the same for IHSA?
It's the same, yeah. It's a 2-semester long pretty much season. It's a year-long season. But like Haley said, our facility really does allow us to do things all year round, and it does limit us a little bit sometimes with traveling if other places don't have the same facility that can
Mhm.
hold the capacity of riders or horses. But we definitely are blessed here at Findlay to have excellent facilities to hold that.
Well, that's great. So yeah, that's good. Speaking of the facilities, obviously we're a radio station. We play music here. Do you guys play music at the barns? Is there like a big speaker you guys get to jam out to while you're practicing at all, or no?
We do actually have a fairly nice setup. We have speakers all throughout the barn. We have a mic system, so if someone needs to announce something from the arena to the back barn, they can hear you. Usually, some days we don't, but some days we do have a little bit of music playing in the background.
What's playing? You know, we're talking like, it's gonna sound very like stereotypical equestrian horses. Are we playing like country music? Are we switching it up? You know, we playing some
Varies a
R&B.
little bit. I think it depends which
hip-hop.
instructor gets a hold of the radio
Fair
each day.
enough. Oh, you
It
guys don't
does-
get to pick. Has to be the
Not
instructor.
us. It's
Aw.
usually the
Yeah.
instructor. Yes.
You can kind of tell who's on aux, though.
Gotcha. Fair
we
enough.
have some pop. We do get the occasional, Doja Cat, and we'll be
Occasionally,
jamming out in
yeah.
the barn.
There you go.
Some rock and roll every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Okay. So do you guys have your own like personal favorite artists? No, just mixture of everything, or
Yeah, kind of. I do have to say Zach Bryan is probably my top right now. He's
Definitely at the top.
Yeah. he's
Zach
very
Bryan's good. He's a good guy. Good music. Can't hate on that. No, that's good. So, before you guys compete and everything, do you guys like listen to your own music? Haley, I know you mentioned you went out to your own shows. Caitlin, I know when you're competing here with the university, do you guys have your own headphones in and like preparing to like go out? Obviously, it's just like competing in a sport. I mean, you
Like
have to
game
get
prep.
game prep. You have to get your mind right. What's blaring in your headphones at that point?
That's a good question. It depends on the day.
On the
if I
day.
have to be like really serious,
Mm-hmm.
probably some Casey Donahue. He's another country artist.
Okay.
But if I'm just like chilling, have a good time, I'd probably have to say Meg Thee Stallion. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go. What about you, Caitlin?
Well, I can't really say that I get to have much alone time before a show to really
Fair enough.
zone in, but usually some good country music just in the background at a horse show just like sets the mood. Very horse show-esque.
Very horse indeed.
Yes.
So, obviously, you guys just can't wear normal clothes. Obviously, everybody has to have, in a sports team, you have uniforms. You guys have your own outfits you have to wear, right? Well, I wouldn't say outfits, but like it's more geared towards, what you have to.
Yeah.
So is it just like is it like jeans and boots and like a hat? Or is it like, do you guys have like matching outfits, like matching like jean jackets with like UF on the back and stuff like that too, or no? Or is it just
We
like whatever?
should.
Yeah,
We should.
Or,
Um,
hey, if you guys do, you know where to come for the idea. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so what do you guys wear? Do you guys just wear like whatever you're most comfortable in?
So for the ranch team, we have a little bit looser dress code than the IHSA team. Not that there's a super strict or anything, but ours is typically just long jeans, a button-down shirt, and a hat if you have one. If not, it's cool.
Gotcha. What about for IHSA?
IHSA is definitely it's like I kind of just use the word horse show-esque, it's for the individuals who are also showing more competitively too. So our wardrobe does kind of vary a little bit, but in the basics, it's a clean fitted button down with a hat and chaps and boots and a belt. The idea is just to look very clean and fitted clothing.
Gotcha. Okay. So I have to ask this question. What is up with like the big belt buckles? Yeah, exactly. She's got one on right now. What is up with the big? Are they like? I know like sometimes they might be prizes or something like to show like. Are they like medals that you kind of flaunt around while you're riding or?
Kind of, yeah. You can buy them. Usually you don't.
Oh yeah, you can't buy them. That's faking right there.
Yes, it's kind of like a way to show off, like if you've worked really hard and you ended up top of your division. Like it's just like a nice like memento.
Gotcha.
And some people just like it for the style. I just wear it because it
hard work,
keeps
you know.
my pants up.
I mean, yeah, whatever works, I guess. Do you have anything to add on to that or no? Or?
I mean, this is a rare occasion that I don't have mine on.
Oh,
so,
man. We're really missing out here.
Yeah, I missed that. But usually I do too. I think it's just something that, I mean, I don't think about necessarily the award that it is when I put it on, but especially when you go to a horse show and you're seeing everyone, and they all usually have like the specific award that it is on it, and you can kind of see the different backgrounds that people come from. Like Haley's will probably say something RSTPA, like the association she won it at, and so sometimes it's cool just camaraderie, getting to talk to each other about, oh, like where'd you win that buckle, like how'd you win it, and stuff like that too.
I guess that's definitely a lot cooler than like, you know, if you're on a sports team, you'll get like a medal or a trophy or something. You can't obviously carry that around everywhere, where as a belt buckle you can kind of just like tuck your shirt behind and flaunt. You know, obviously if it's like a big award, you're like, yeah, I won, no biggie. But no, that's really cool. But no, yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Do you guys want to let them know where they can find, like if they want to try out or contact you guys, I should say, how to reach you guys?
So unfortunately, the tryouts are closed for the ranch horse team.
That's right. I apologize. That's my fault.
You're all right. But you can follow us at UF Ranch Horse Team on the Instagram app, as well as.
She added the app part because she didn't know it was the app.
As well as we do have a Facebook page. It's just University of Findlay University of Findlay Ranch Horse Team.
On the Facebook app, in case you didn't know. And what about for IHSA?
It's pretty much the same thing. We have both an Instagram and a Facebook page. It's just UF Western Equestrian IHSA. So you can find us on there. And again, our tryouts are going to be closed.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, yeah.
We're always looking for riders for the next season. So.
Right, gotcha. And before we go, do you want to plug in your own Instagram app usernames? Just a little shout out. Go ahead, go for it if you want to.
Sure. Mine's just Haley Zalek.
Caitlin.how3.
Yep. So if you want to follow them, you know where to reach them. If you got any questions, also they mentioned the Instagram app links and Facebook app links for the teams. But yeah, thanks guys. We appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course.